Hello everybody, it is April 28th, 2021. And here's another important article, the most recent updated information concerning IBD arena information. This was posted on January 29th, 2021 of this year. And a big shout out to Matt Cook Reptiles for this information. This is very good information right here. It says, hello everyone, this post is long, but I appreciate anyone taking the time to read about arena virus in boa constrictors. This involves my own personal findings as well as information gathered over the last 3 years from various infected collections as well as consulting with vets working closely with the University of Florida. And that is true, University of Florida seems to be really heavy duty into this. Arena is wider spread and less deadly than one perceived. Testing many collections has shown almost every captive collections will find positives. Later, I'll talk about strains and more importantly symptoms as they are also not what once believed to be. Most arena positive boas go their entire lives asymptomatic with good care. Even though me personally, I don't believe that they go asymptomatic their whole lives. I believe they go asymptomatic and it can go away. I do believe that, yes, from what I witnessed and from what I read. Here you will find a discussion on testing symptoms and the spread of IBD, inclusion body disease. IBD is a result of an internal attack on a boa by a particular virus known as arena virus, which belongs to the family of arena Vardae. Being a virus, the name itself can already confuse the learner, and it is more appropriate to call it arena virus rather than IBD. Arena is a broad term and can be broken down into different strains. I'm sure everyone here has heard that snakes have inclusions/arenas in the samples taken from it that are not related to IBD. Confusing, right? And later I'll break that down and explain it, what I think it really is. That is correct, while also incorrect. Testing has come a far way, and now we can do more than test for yes and no type testing. PCRs have been developed to test the blood of a boa constrictor to find the strain, because there's different strains obviously. And once you know that you can get a qPCR done and find even the viral loads, which so far viral load counts do not show any patterns that concern the status of the virus besides in baby boas. Giessen and Golden Gate strains seem to be the most common, collection ending, end staging causing, and a few others follow. Stress-inducing situations like moving, breeding, or heating malfunctions have shown to have boa cross into this symptomatic stage. That leads me into symptoms and signs in end-stage arena. My vet told me that this ecropsy is found in the same thing in arena-positive animals, thin esophagus membranes and mucus in the lungs even in asymptomatic carriers, although they were much more prone to respiratory infections throughout their lives, as well as having random fits of coughing episodes. And snakes really don't cough because they don't have the diaphragm to do so, but more like wheezing is what he's talking about. Have you ever heard a snake cough hack before? RIS, that keeps coming back. That's a symptom we didn't know correlated to arena yet is found in most. Starvation is what typically follows once the snake leaves the asymptomatic stage and enters end-stage arena, when all their organs start to shut down and white blood cell counts skyrocket trying to fight the virus. End stage can be random, but also caused by stress-related incidences, moving, breeding, heat malfunctions. Rapid shedding is sometimes seen combined with any one symptom. You will see them go into shed immediately after shedding their previous skin. For a long time, we thought arena was a neurological disorder. Many snakes have died, however, do not show any twisting or stargazing. Most would stop eating and then back half of their bodies would start to lose all functionality movement until completely limp. So they're talking about partial paralysis. When ecropsies were performed, it was shown that they had gone septic as well as mass organ failure. This leads me to believe any neurological-like symptoms are byproducts of organ failure and that chronic respiratory issues as well as not eating are much more likely to present themselves long before you see any overcome by the virus. The problem this is very important. The problem this revelation leads to is many people will spend time and money taking their snakes to the vet to get treated, not thinking arena is the culprit. It's anything but that, and waste much time and money trying to get their snake better, why they have a much larger issue at hand. Spread. Arena is not easily spread. With proper handling routines, sanitizing hands and equipment between snakes, it is not airborne. However, it can be treated by saliva, blood, and intercourse. Examples of each would be a snake striking a rat but not eating it, so you would give it to a different snake. Switching around water bowls after filling them up between snake saliva. Mites. Taking blood from infected snake and then making it its way to another snake. Any kind of sexual intercourse. And what about rodents and fleas on the rodents? That could do it too. With that being said, the myth that you can keep a ball python in a room as a canary is inaccurate. Pockets of arena positive animals were found, usually in breeding groups, but not the entire collection. Arena generally becomes deadly with age and growth, and bows take 4 years to mature, while ball pythons can be raised to maturity in a year or so. That is my theory, and that is why they go so symptomatic so quickly. Testing. The testing performed for blood is done at the University of Florida. A qualified vet will take blood samples from a suspected boa and overnight it to their lab to be tested via PCR to find the exact strain. Swab testing is also available at a much cheaper than blood testing, but at the cost of not being nearly as accurate. So it's starting to come out that it's this IBD disease is not what they thought it was. It's a lot more widespread than previously thought, and it's a lot less deadlier. And they cannot correlate it, arena virus, with IBD. In other words, they're saying that arena virus does not guarantee that IBD, well, the old IBD neurological issues are going to come out. And this is very good information. This is exactly what I was witnessing. The partial paralysis of the lower part of the body, the swollen vent, his jerkiness, twitching, severe twitching, and it was definitely symptomatic. And he went back to asymptomatic. For me, that's I swear by the hydroxytyrosol method, hemp extract. It worked for me, and with really good results. And yeah, I put these videos out there to help people out. Yeah, people can do with what they want with their snakes, but if you want to chase shadows and deny that it's anything but that because there's no neurological issues in the collection, that does not necessarily mean the arena virus is not in there. That's what I've been saying. It seems like this virus is not the actual strain, lethal strain we saw in the past. It has mutated, and it can lead up to the lethal strain. So if we do something about it, it can definitely be treated, and yes, even cured. I do believe that, and the reason why I believe that is because when we start talking about rodents and the arena virus, you have to start thinking about LCMV, which is a very common virus. It's spread from rodents to humans. Humans can walk around. You can do your own research on LCMV. Human beings, it's a lot more. It goes highly unreported. It's actually quite common for people to be asymptomatic. All various types of rodents can carry this. Mice, they say in particular, but also rats, squirrels, chipmunks, hamsters, guinea pigs, possums, any type of rodent type mammal. And the question remains, okay, can a cat go out and eat a field mouse that has a strain of LCMV and the cat can actually carry it? I don't know. But certainly fleas on these rodents can jump off these rats, wind up in your house that you don't know about, maybe nibble on your arm while you're sleeping or something, and now you're asymptomatic to LCMV. And LCMV, there's no real treatment for it other than just your immune system, but it can, unfortunately in some people, mainly younger people, it can transfer into meningitis. And that's what this IBD seems to be. So they're saying you cannot associate arena with IBD. It's not really proper, and it's also not really proper to associate LCMV with meningitis. In other words, if you get LCMV, that does not guarantee you're going to wind up with a meningitis infection, though it can happen. Very likely, but it can happen. And this end game type arena thing, if it does turn neurological, it seems like it's more like in the meningitis type B scenario in snakes. Not necessarily, I think the HIV, calling it snake AIDS, is not proper. I think it's more like a meningitis type B infection. So why is it that this virus, we don't see the neurological issues so often? And it's very, very rare. Well, it is becoming more and more rare, most likely because over the past 20 years, the husbandry has dramatically became better. There's PVC enclosures now. People, we have really good heat mats. We have thermostats. We have better ways to gauge our humidity now. People stay on top of the husbandry a lot better 20 years than they did 20 years ago, like they do now. It's just a lot better, higher quality. So therefore, the animals' immune systems are just all that much better in captivity. But I think we need to focus on, if we really want to do something about this virus, we should focus on the nutrition of the animals as well to help sustain their immunity to be like it is in the wild. I think their immunity system is, not quite on par as it would be in the wild, mainly because, as I believe, it's the essential polyphenols that they intake in the wild, so that it builds up their immune system to be on par, to be really good. So if they get this asymptomatic condition in these rodents in other countries, there's LCMV. Uh, they can easily fight it off. It doesn't even bother them, just like most humans. LCMV, easily you can fight off your immune system. But weakened immune systems, people with other health issues, can contract meningitis from it, and have different. Who knows what kind of strains of meningitis can manifest out of LCMV. But I think that's really what's going on here. We're seeing like an LCMV type infection going from these boas, well, these rodents into these boas. And they're asymptomatic, but I do not believe they're asymptomatic for life. Hamsters, research has been done on LCMV that these hamsters can go carry this virus and they could be asymptomatic, and yet 8 months later it clears. It's gone, totally gone. Same thing with humans. You have LCMV, you can be asymptomatic, I don't know for how long, but it's certainly not for life. And like I said, they were saying on that it goes massively unreported, because it's not really a problem. And pregnant women should be the most concerned about it because it can disrupt the fetus and it can cause neurological issues on an unborn child. It is mainly found in major metropolitan areas. They say about 9% of the rodents in the United States in the wild are infected. They're carriers of this virus, of LCMV. Well, that's the arena virus from rodents, LCMV. So if these rodents can go asymptomatic and clear themselves, humans can go asymptomatic and clear themselves. I do not see why a snake cannot go asymptomatic and clear themselves with the proper care. So yes, this article is partially right. They can live their entire life asymptomatic with good care, but I do not believe you're going to get positive results throughout its entire life. I just don't see that. I'm more inclined to go with the LCMV type of scenario, because that's exactly what this seems like it is. It's a snake-like LCMV infection that can manifest into meningitis if people are not knowing what they're dealing with, and it can progress into this IBD slash meningitis type B scenario, not HIV or AIDS. They call it snake AIDS. That just kind of kills me when they say that, but that's what people call it. Because I just do not believe it's a retrovirus. I'm no expert here, but people can call up the University of Florida and talk to an expert down there and get updated information on the arena virus. But I give you my take on it, and I believe it's just a bunch of hysteria. It's been blown way out of proportion. Limited research has been done over the years, but University of Florida has been on it, and they can identify different strains, give you viral blood loads, so they go way beyond just a yes or no answer. That is very impressive. PCRs. But like I said, I do believe that this is a LCMV type of scenario, and that asymptomatic doesn't mean it's for life. So that's about all I have for now. And you guys can research LCMV on Google, because it would be a very long video if I did that. And you can draw up your own conclusions. Like I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue with my hemp extract with the essential polyphenols. Hydroxytyrosol is a very powerful antioxidant found in high quality olive oil. So what this virus does, it goes into the cells of the snakes, and you want an antioxidant, we should say, antiviral compound to also go into those blood cells. Absolutely. Yes, that is definitely the best method that I can come up with that I've seen really positive results. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you soon.